That will force the enemies to move into our firing line here. I think we're about ready to fire out there. There we go, lovely stuff. And that's what it's about, just pulling the enemy in so that they come in ready to be fired upon there. Hello everyone, welcome back to our Napoleon Total War campaign as Prussia with the Darth mod. In this campaign, as I'm sure you are aware and remember, we are going to try and make the Prussian Republic and spread republicanism across Europe, setting up a massive amount of satellite states on the way. And we have recently taken Dresden, as historically Prussia was very much after. I may be wrong, but I don't think they managed to take Dresden until the Congress of Vienna. And that was actually very, very late, of course, into the Napoleonic Wars, really finally putting Napoleon's rule to an end there. So, what are we looking at? Well, we can see the public order is absolutely abysmal. If we look at our income at 7.4 thousand, if we exempt them from tax, it's helping out the nobility quite a lot there. However, for the lower classes, it is still -3. But our income has not been reduced too much there, so that's absolutely fine. What we can do then, I think we can just about avoid having a revolt here, but we will need a permanent army in there. Maybe we can't actually. We're going to have to take some militia in there, aren't we? And I don't really want to have to do that just yet. What we are going to do though is send in, I think, Blücher and his army to deal with that, so that this army can go back and reinforce quite nicely over here. That is going to take another turn to get over. So we're saying that what we're going to do, how many units we have in this army here? 1, 2, 3 slots available still, that's absolutely fine. Can get some land there, but we'll take some extra turns to recruit those. Why is it not saying how long it takes? Perhaps just because the recruitment is so short there then, because we can afford them. We'll do that for now, see what happens about that. Can we use our money for anything else? I think it's probably best to just do a quick once over to see what is available for upgrading over here. We're one turn away from getting decent roads, which is brilliant. We're waiting for this logging camp to upgrade for Greater Poland over here. And I think it's probably best to get a magistrates sorted up in our more minor settlements. So we're going to get one in Danzig, and we're going to get one in Stettin as well, in Pomerania. Not a lot of need to upgrade our ports over here. That will take quite a long time to upgrade. Quite a hefty investment, and we can't actually send out any trade ships anyway to any nearby trade nodes because there just aren't any in this northern region over here, as you would well expect, the closest being over here in the northern Atlantic just above Britain, and they will control most of those. So I think really we're just waiting to see what we do over the end turn here. Hopefully Austria doesn't try and rush into Dresden over here. They should, well, they'll just about be able to make that with this army. We'll see what happens, because we are at war with Austria because they were allied with Dresden and the Kingdom of Saxony. So we'll see what happens. We'll move these over. Should be able to survive another turn like this, but that's absolutely fine. Nothing we could do on diplomacy, I don't think, so let's get going. And that is a massive, massive problem. Napoleon has declared war on us himself, and all of his allies will also join him in this war, and that is not ideal at all. We'll have to sort this out in just a second. His allies aren't joining him in this one. That's rather interesting, rather useful, but it's rather unlucky just to have Napoleon on our backs as well, because he will dart for us. Okay, so at the end of that turn, we have a successful spy mission over here. We have infiltrated Vienna, which is very, very nice indeed. Russia has joined our enemies as well, which is excellent for us. We were expecting this to happen. That's absolutely fine. Works on striking Saxony. Things are going swimmingly, of course. Do have our roads and farms up from the first turn, which is excellent. We have some militia and such recruited as well. Let's get over here. Sort this out. So we do still have a couple turns to wait over here. We will likely have a revolution on our hands there, unfortunately. That's not to worry too much there. What we're going to do is take out Friedrich over here. And we're going to bring our militia in here. Let's put this army into Berlin properly. And that will help it replenish. Now, because we have that militia in here now, we do have neutral public order over here. That means we do have to garrison in here for a good few turns still. We have 25 resistance to occupation there. That is rather unlucky indeed. We'll give that a few turns, see how that goes. But we do still need to watch out for Napoleon. We do have a minor French army in Hanover, so that will be able to raid into Berlin. We can certainly take that on, but it is more a problem of we're about to lose Cleves to the electorate of Hesse-Kassel. That's absolutely fine. Like we said in the first video, we are expecting to lose this. That's not a problem at all. It's a bit of a buffer. I think what we do is try and take Prague, turn that into a vassal protectorate state, and then see if we can push Austria for peace there, and then by extent Russia as well. I'm pretty sure we've got a minor army over here, but that's only a 1 unit there. I don't think we'll have to worry too much on this front of Russia for the moment, for the time being. Alexander Kutuzov should be over here, or Mikhail Kutuzov. I think of another Alexander, I do apologise. Mikhail Kutuzov is over here with a minor army. We can certainly watch out for that. So we might have to move our agents more northwards towards Prague and Munich in the future to see what's coming from our south. But actually keeping him there for a spy network would prove just as nice, in fact. What we can try and do is either assassinate or sabotage the army over here. Let's try and sabotage the army. It's not worked, which is rather unlucky, but not to worry, we didn't lose the agent there. What can we do? How's that affected our incomes? It is rather a lot down now, but not to worry. We can't trade with anyone extra, unfortunately. Can we go for... I don't want to go for peace just yet with Austria. Wouldn't mind going for peace with Russia. That'd be nice, just to keep that off our backs, but I doubt they'll go for anything just yet, having just declared war on us. I don't want to have to give anything away to them too much there. I think really what we do is try and upgrade our roads once again. How is our replenishment looking? It's going to take a good few turns there, unfortunately. What can we recruit here? 1, 2, 3 units are going to take far too long to replenish. I do want this army up as quickly as possible. Let's go for just 3 units here for now. Let's upgrade. We can get rid of these fusiliers. Actually, it's going to take too much upkeep for us. I think we upgrade our farms again. While we have a little bit of money, let's get our barracks up here and this theatre to help us our income and happiness. Lumber mill doesn't necessarily need upgrading just yet. We can't upgrade our farms now, so I think we're going to upgrade this theatre as well, and that will run our money very low indeed. That's not to worry too much there, I don't think. So aim of this one is to just get this army up and running again, probably take on Hanover to get rid of this minor French army, just to reduce the threat on that side, and we can watch out for Prague as well. My team just want to sit over there and take on that as quickly as possible rather than the French side. So let's end the turn and see what we can do about that. Okay, so we did lose Cleves to the electorate of Hesse-Kassel. Absolutely fine there, to be expected. We have the national debt research, which is brilliant, and we have another gentleman in Silesia over here. He's good for general research, excellent, and +1 to industrial, but he has slightly less campaign movement range. That's not to worry. We're going to sit him in our school. We could certainly do that. It'll take a few turns to get over, not to worry there. Nation joins our enemies, the Kingdom of Sicily. Rather interesting, but unimpactful. We have a market in Prussia. Okay, so Thorn and Königsberg. Tilsit as well has more farms up, so we're going to look out for those to see if we can upgrade them. We have our new units as well, and we have +1. Who's this? Excellent stuff. So that's for more civil technologies over there. But do we want to go for civil technologies? That's the question. You could get more taxes over here and reduced recruitment costs if we go for national census. Classical economics does reduce our happiness. We don't want that just yet. I think we might want to go for, even though this will reduce our happiness even more, I think it's probably best to unlock the next tiers of buildings over here as quickly as possible. Although I really like the idea of replenishment rates and campaign movement range over here. That was very, very useful indeed. That is going to take some time to do. It's going to take 8 turns. That might be reduced in a couple turns since we're upgrading our university, which I have to see. Let's take out these 2 units, and we'll take out this unit as well. Replace them with these, and I think what we can do is try and go for Prague over here. What we can do is we can sit here, lay an ambush here, and replenish over the turn. Slightly less replenishment, but not to worry. Not to worry at all. Reducing our occupation such over here, that's absolutely fine. Keep these in here to replenish, bring our general back over. How is our income looking? Not the greatest, but absolutely acceptable for the moment. And I think we're going to spend more money on upgrading our farms once again. Just make sure there's not any... We've got the pastures over here we could upgrade, but I don't think that's particularly useful just yet. What we're going to upgrade is these farms in Königsberg, if we can. We can't afford that just yet. That's absolutely fine. So I think what we're going to do is upgrade the magistrates over here again as well. That'd be quite nice indeed. Leave us a little bit of money in the bank there. How is our happiness without these Schützen in? Basically fine. I think we bring the Schützen over here. Get some semblance of a minor army building over here as well. Now, do we go straight for Prague actually? It's probably not the best of ideas now. Probably could go straight for Prague. There's only a few units of militia here, and that's not necessarily bad. We will likely lose them, that's the problem. Don't like the makeup of this army too much though for assaulting. I would like a couple more units. Might have to switch those around. We shall see over the end turn, see what our replenishment's looking like. That's absolutely fine. What we're going to do though, since the electorate has taken what it wants, hopefully we can try and go for peace with them. Go for trade as well. They said no. That's absolutely fine. Maybe we can offer them something far in advance. Said no. What about a little bit of money on top there, just to make sure our flank is just that little more secure. Offer them 500. It's not a lot. They've said no. That's absolutely fine. We can live with that. We can certainly live with that. It's only the minor army over in Cleves. That will take a few turns to get over to really threaten us. So I think somewhat inactive once again, but that's really all we can do at the moment. I think we're going to move on to try and take Prague, I think, over the next turn. Alrighty, so unfortunately Kolberg has been raided by a Russian fleet, a very minor one, just one ship there, but is still raiding us and having that impact on our economy. So that's gone down a fair old bit now. We do need to sort that out as quickly as possible. But I think that might be our only port. So what we can do is take units out over here. We can take our general. He'll have a bit more movement to get there. Force them out. Still be roughly blockading them. We have to repair that though, so we can recruit a minor navy to take that on. Can we see what that is? No, we can't. But not to worry there. I don't think we spend any money this turn. We can see a minor French army coming up to reinforce over here. So what we do is we have rather a large army over here now in Prague. Can we reach that with this agent over here? No, we can't. We have another Austrian army over here. Can we sabotage that? Give us a go. It's not the greatest success chance, and that's rather unlucky there. Rather unlucky indeed. But not to worry at all. Let's move our gentleman over before we forget. Okay, how are we looking? So, what we do is we transfer a couple units, I think. Transfer our cavalry over as well. And we take 1, 2, 3 units of line infantry. That'd be best for me at the moment. Did we take out too many there? I think we did. That's absolutely fine. Take out 1 more unit of line infantry then. We should be able to make us over to Prague now. So let's quickly go over there, try and take that out. This is going to be rather a bloody battle because they do have some fairly well-trained units over here and quite a good General Johann von Österreich. But if we do beat this, that's quite a threatening army out of the way. So we have 3 units of 6-pounder artillery, only 1 cavalry unit to worry about, which is brilliant. Which means once we take that on, our dragoons will have free rein to probably shut down these cannons. Do have a couple units of Hungarian Fusiliers, and these are going to be rather nasty. They have 10 morale over here. Fairly decent accuracy, but we have better accuracy across the board. But it is the morale we're going to be struggling with, because even their basic Fusiliers have better morale than us. They do have a couple units of light infantry to worry about as well. But we're going to go straight in and try and take Prague, turn this into a first protectorate state there. Alrighty, so before we make contact with the enemy, let's run down our tactics here. The lay of the land is very, very interesting in this battle. We're going to try and come with a fairly heavy hand on our left flank once again. We have 2 units of light infantry over here, 2 Prussian Fusiliers. We're going to try and light infantry behaviour behind this wall if possible as cover. We're going to as well deploy a little bit behind it first, just to allow us to see what the enemy movements are like to begin with. We're going to bring some line infantry in behind them, let the skirmishers pepper the enemy as they should do, and then fall back behind this cover over here and allow our line infantry to come up and batter the enemy as they come in on the retreat there, following our units retreating. We're going to take this hill with our horse artillery over here, so we do have a good line of sight on the rest of the enemy and try and force them into us here. You can see we have a few units of line infantry over here and 1 unit protecting the flank here as reserve. We're going to try and take the hill on this side as well as some line infantry. Hide in the woodland over here, the little copse over here with some light to pepper them once they come in once again, protected by a couple more units of line infantry on the hill, and hopefully we get some line infantry hiding in here as an emergency help over there in case I do get a cavalry charge on that side, because we can see that the Hungarian hussars are on this flank over here. So let's fast forward, unlimber our cannons and try and get into this fight. Alrighty, so it looks like we're going to have to push in on this flank over here because the enemy are outranging us with their skirmishers by the looks of things and bringing up some armed citizenry to boots there. We can't necessarily stand up with that with our light infantry there, so let's just run in, double time this to engage there. And I think we're going to have to just bring up our reserve as well, just so that they're closer to the engagement. And we're going to swing around with our cavalry as well, so it's ready to pounce later on. We are going to pull back, I think, in just a second with these units here. I think we'll pull back now with this unit, double time that, swing around here so that we can brace for them, pepper them as they come in once again, as per the plan, and that will force the enemy to move into our firing line here. I think we're about ready to fire out there. There we go, lovely stuff. And that's what it's about, just pulling the enemy in so that they come in ready to be fired upon there, which is absolutely brilliant for us. Look at that, absolutely brilliant fire by rank there. Should rip apart the armed citizenry, but they do have a loss of people per regiment in there. We're trying to counter battery here. We've reduced them by only 1 cannon so far. We're getting some hits onto the other units over here. Fusiliers taking a few losses. It's this Archduke Charles Legion I think I want to try and focus on though. Let's try and redirect that a tad. But they're not budging on this flank, so we're going to have to try and smash this as quickly as possible here. Not doing great on the morale side, are we? Where is our general? Let's try and swing him around as quickly as possible. Just give him some waypoints to double time it. And now they're pulling in over here. What is this? The Grenzers over here. We're not quite ready to set up just yet. We might have to charge in very quickly with our cavalry over here. But they are going to have a few units firing on them here. We're able to fire in behind here, which is absolutely brilliant with our line infantry because we are crouching with our lights over here. So we should rip these apart fairly easily. You can see they've taken a massive amount of losses already. Just watching them fall. They'll be on the receiving end of this unit very, very soon indeed. But we have taken a lot of losses already because of our mismanagement of the manoeuvring there. Should have double timed a bit easier there. And now having to readjust our position here. And I think really we go in with our cavalry, run these down, and allow us to forces off the field and shoot at the other units over here. You can now, winning this engagement, our morale is looking much, much better here. So if we take off fire at will here, so that we don't shoot our own cavalry, take a little bit of management there. And then perhaps we can go straight into the ease units as well, the Swiss Grenadiers, because they're not looking at us. And then we'll get on to the Hungarian Fusiliers as well, because the Grenzers are finally off. So let's push forwards, get ready to go right in their faces here, I think. Let the line infantry take the brunt of that for now. Come in over here very quickly with this unit. Guess on that, pull out with our cavalry very soon, because they're not going to win this engagement if they stay in there for too long. That's just to allow our units over here to get into a decent fire there. The armed citizenry is running off, but that will reappear there. And I think we tell our cavalry to get out already, because that is going to get bogged down far too hard otherwise. And we're very close to getting into position here as well. We're not going to run them in, because that will tire us out much quicker as well. I think we're pretty much okay here. We're just going to readjust a tad. We will double time that. Bring them in a little closer, because we're just about in range of these Hungarian Fusiliers. And if we can get early shots on as much as we can, that would be brilliant. So we are going to double time this now, because we've got that little bit extra movement to go there. And our cavalry's made us out alright as well. And now we're firing out, so you can see the massive morale shock there, because they're tired already and taking that cavalry fire. So not getting any sound effects, rather unluckily. That's rather interesting. We've not turned them off. That's rather unlucky indeed. We're guessing them over here. Maybe it's just a small bug. Our general's a little too close, taking some stray shots. So we'll pull him back a tad. Put him into this dip in the land here, so he doesn't take any stray shots. And I think we'll just push up with our reserve as well, so that they're ready to pounce later on. Doesn't look like the enemy's too willing to do anything over here though, so we might take advantage of that and run into the backs over here once again, just to mop up this Hungarian Fusiliers before we start taking too many losses from them. Interesting to see our morale's wavering a little over here. Since they're idle, they should be firing up. We've not got them on fire at will, which is why they're not firing. Forgot to turn that back on. Not to worry there. Now I should be ready to go. Excellent. And with the cavalry going in, we'll turn that back off so that we don't shoot our own men in the back. But that would be a very nasty morale shock to them there. Still not reacting too well, are they, on our flank there. So we'll be very happy to chase these down, I think. Still get some nice counter battery over here. We've not lost too many cannons. Lost one cannon in this regiment, but not too many men. Our morale's could be better. Just taking a few shots here. I think we're going to have to force an engagement, whether we like it or not over here. Guess on round while the enemy's wondering what to do with its own position there. That's unlucky they didn't want to charge up into us, but you can't have everything. Really can't have everything there. I think we start pushing up towards these trees as well. Only the tiniest bit there. Only the tiniest bit, and we'll come up with our reserve as well here. But we've absolutely smashed that enemy there, so we're going to watch out over here with our cavalry, because they're in a rather perilous position stood here. What we can do is slam into the armed citizenry here, turn on fire at will again, and come right in to help out this flank as we advance with our centre as well. And that's looking very nice indeed. We will bring back the light infantry as well. We can sit them, there is a little dip in the land here, so we can push them right into the enemy's face there and bring up our reserve here to fill this gap. Our general can slowly come up as well to the flank there to help us out. Just watching this on the armed citizenry to stop them from firing on us, but we've got to watch out for this Archduke Charles Legion. Yes, another elite infantry force there. But the beauty of this being a settlement battle is that we don't necessarily need to chase people down. They can't survive this. So if we win, the enemy is done for. They will be absolutely smited out of existence. We're being fired upon there by that unit, so we're going to run out. This unit is absolutely shattered down, leaving the battle permanently. So we can double time that and get out there very nicely indeed. And that has allowed us to move up a little safer, because look at the enemy's formation here. Absolutely weighted in such a mess over here. Any cannon fire we get on here, we're going to spread this out I think. Any cannon fire would be absolutely brilliant. So we look at this massive lump for that cannon fire, is absolutely brilliant. Austrians very much in dire straits here by the looks of things. If we can keep that up, we can just encircle them slowly, and it's a measured pace. We're going to actually, I think, hide in this woodland here, take that as cover, and push up while the Austrians actually are not in the best of positions there. We're going to hide in this scrub as well, but we do need to watch out for that possible cavalry unit actually. I think we'll hide with this unit as well if possible and come up with the rear here. Just a minor hill here over the flat grass. Gonna have to watch out though because they are moving in here. I think what we do is we double time now with every unit here because that light infantry is going to be rather isolated. So I think we stand here. We will be hidden in just a second and we will be in firing range. The problem is now a minor hill and of course they have the light tree cover here. We're going to have to reposition ourselves as well here to deal with this. I think we swap out over a tad here so we can stretch out our forces and get more men firing. Not liking the morale over here because we're in so much cannon fire actually. We're going to have to push up to the centre unfortunately. That's okay. Going to try and get some counter battery down the centre once again to keep that going. How are we looking over here? I think we've forgotten about our cavalry. Let's come back round. Should be about ready to fire here. Let's turn back, make sure everyone has fire at will engaged. Certainly do. And that should draw the attention over here. We can see the, what were these? The Landeschützen. Very low morale over here, so we could probably catch us out with our cavalry. Just need to watch out for the backing up line infantry over here, because the cavalry can absolutely wreck this unit over here. Not quite in range with our line infantry, but not to worry. We're only fighting some German Fusiliers over here. You can see the morale shock there is absolutely disgusting. We certainly need to get onto these Landeschützen, because they will have range on our cavalry and such over here. And now we're in range over here on the top of the hill. Very, very nice line of fire as well. Oh, I'm loving that. But hopefully this forces the Austrians into a peace as well, this battle. That's what we're really hoping for out of this. Really, really hoping for that. I'm not liking this morale either. I'm going to push up with this unit right in front of our skirmishers there. Pull back round over here. Watch out for these units. They are going to have to double time into there, I think. And what's we doing with our reserve units? We're going to have to push in as well. I think we'll push them over here like so. We smash this flank, which is excellent. And we're sourcing out the Landeschützen very nicely indeed there. So hopefully what we can do is get our light infantry very more specifically on the sides over here and push up with our line to help out with our flank like so. This is the problem with not having, or with having to do things manually. You can see the repositioning ourselves and not ideally there. Spend far too much time faffing about with your positions. Don't think we're exactly engaged over here. Don't know what's going on with that. Rather interesting. We might want to just charge into these German Fusiliers. They are very tired. Our cavalry's tired in itself, which is a shame. But it looks like we're just about winning over here. Let's bring our general in to help us our morale, I think. I think we're going to be fine on this side. We need him all the way over here, I think. Where are our cannons firing? What can we concentrate into? I think we stay over here and concentrate on this mass. Because we've sorted out this side, really. Going to charge in the flanks here. Not exactly great for us at all. In fact, halfway through firing, and that would be excellent for us there. Really, really good use of that. Have we lost 2 units over here? No, we haven't. Just misremembering where things are. That would have been rather scary. And very quick indeed. So that unit has started to rout, but this unit of German Fusiliers is coming back. So I think what we do is we charge back into there. And while their centre is in disorder and disarray, we charge into their cannons after that. But we are losing a lot of cavalry here. Very, very low indeed. They're going to have to stop and pull out for the rest of the battle very, very soon, in fact. I think what we do is pull out this unit, because it's just taken far too many losses from cannons. Bring our general round over here, double time that, and push up with our reserve, I think, over here to try and push up here and hold this. Because you see the centre is absolutely wrecked now, destroyed. What we do is we pull out our light infantry, I think, watch our flanks over here, and pull our line infantry right into the centre, get very, very aggressive with that. You see the morale of our cavalry not doing great now because we have taken a few losses. I don't think they can sustain themselves there. We're going to have to pull out back into our own units here. Try and source out, really, this unit's over here. It's going to make a bit of a mess, but not to worry. Just watching how we can source out our own infantry here. Curl this around so we get more guns on target there. They've abandoned their cannons, which is rather interesting. So I think really we just go for this massive units over here, which are actually fighting. Go for the Archduke Charles Legion to help us out. Still not quite mopping up this area, are we? I think what we do is we pull out our light infantry and push in a bit harder over here with our line, because I don't think they're doing too much there. Somewhat inactive. Very brave of the cannon artillery people over here to to try and melee charge us, I think. I think these Swiss Grenadiers are trying that as well. In fact, they're going for a massive melee charge in general. Not ideal there. Not ideal for us at all. So what's we doing over here? We want to try and outrange, just tidy up our formation. Keep the cavalry out now, I think, because they are very, very low on men. Source out this unit on our flank and we'll be able to crush these centres just that much harder. Leaving these units out on purpose, I think what we do, we on a hill here, just about, set up some light infantry to fire over our men and into the enemy. It's a very nice fire by ranks up, but it's these Hungarian Fusiliers just do not want to break. But they are now, which is excellent, just as we say that. Absolutely brilliant. We'll be able to crush this armed citizenry, doing very, very well for themselves. They do have that woodland cover here, which is helping them out quite a bit. Looks like the melee charge did not go the enemy's way at all, which is excellent because we have our layered defences here. They're charging in for this unit and stopping for these two units to fire on their flanks. Still struggling a bit against these Landesschützen because they are kiting us too much here. We're not quite in range too easily here. We just need to sort that out. I think we can afford to turn around to engage that a bit better because it is only these artillerymen over here. And while they're rousing off, I think we push in just that much more aggressively as well over here. Just close the gaps and we should be all okay. I think we turn around here because that unit is coming back. Nearly out of ammunition though, so that's not good at all. Might just have to force a melee engagement on this armed citizenry because they're not breaking. Got a close range engagement right in their faces over here. We're not going to miss the shots here. We do have much more men than them as well. But it's their morale once again. Are we in range to cover over here? Not quite, unfortunately. Do we need our general to come around anywhere? We do have this unit of reserve. I think we should come round to this flank and sort us out over there. Cannons still firing at point blank. They do have two cannons and this unit of hussars largely untouched. I think if they used them earlier, it puts us into disarray. That would have been rather hurtful to us indeed. But it looks like we're just about finishing up here. And there we go, we have taken Prague. Heavy losses on our side all round. That is going to take some time to replenish. Hopefully though, with that army down, we're going to make... Oh, we can't make it a protector. That's rather unlucky, but they're going to like our occupations. That's not to worry at all. That's very useful indeed if they like that. If they're going to be happy with us, then we don't need to worry too much I think we make this a... I don't think we need to make this a barracks here. I think we just upgrade the magistrates. We might actually demolish this building and turn that into a barracks there. We upgrade the basic roads later on to keep some money in our bank. How's that affected our way with Austria? Said no. What about a simple peace there? No, that's rather unlucky because that's a fair bit of replenishment we have to do once again. That's going to be very slow indeed. And with these two armies here, that's not great at all. Not great at all. So what have we captured in Prague? We do have another market here. We might want to convert that into a supply post for now so that we can make this a forward base. I think that's probably for the best actually. Let's do that. And that will be that, I think. So, are we looking over here for this? Not great at all. Do still have quite a long time. We're just going to have to make an army of militia, I think, so that we can free up this army and make this more active. But that will do for today, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's enough and all we have time for, unfortunately. We have fighting a war on all fronts, which was rather expected from attacking Dresden and such very, very early on and trying to ally ourselves with France. But not to worry, they're all good. And that is really pretty much the aim of this campaign. So it's getting exciting. So I shall see you in the future. Thank you very much for watching. Looking forward to hearing your comments in the section below as ever. But in the meantime, I've been the Edified Gamer, and I hope all of your nights and days are auspicious. Goodbye.